Welcome to Enigma Chronicles, where we delve into the unexplained and the downright terrifying. I'm your host, and today we're going to explore a chilling tale that might just make you think twice about those innocent-looking dolls in your home. So, grab a blanket, turn on all the lights, and let's dive into the story of the cursed doll that moved on its own. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh great, another creepy doll story. But trust me, this one's different. This isn't some urban legend or a tale passed down through generations. This is a true story that happened to a woman named Emily just last year. And let me tell you, it's enough to make your skin crawl. It all started when Emily, a 28-year-old teacher, inherited an antique porcelain doll from her late grandmother. The doll was beautiful, with rosy cheeks, long eyelashes, and a frilly Victorian-style dress. Emily had always admired it as a child, and now it was finally hers. Little did she know, this seemingly innocent heirloom would turn her life into a living nightmare. At first, everything was normal. Emily placed the doll on a shelf in her bedroom, a cherished reminder of her beloved grandmother. But then, strange things began to happen. It started small, so small that Emily barely noticed. The doll's head would be turned slightly to the left. She brushed it off, thinking maybe she had bumped the shelf while cleaning. But then things escalated. Emily would wake up in the middle of the night, feeling like someone was watching her. She'd open her eyes to find the doll staring directly at her from across the room. Now, I don't know about you, but if I woke up to a doll staring at me, I'd be out of that house faster than you can say possessed plaything. Emily, however, tried to rationalize it. Maybe she had sleepwalked and moved the doll. Maybe her cat had knocked it over. But deep down, she knew something wasn't right. The feeling of unease grew with each passing day. Then came the incident that made Emily question her sanity. She had just returned home from work, exhausted after a long day of wrangling third graders. As she walked into her bedroom, she froze. The doll, which she distinctly remembered leaving on the shelf that morning, was now sitting in the middle of her bed. Its glassy eyes seemed to follow her as she backed out of the room, her heart pounding in her chest. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, nope, nope, nope. Time to burn that doll and move to another continent. But Emily, bless her heart, still tried to find a logical explanation. She set up a camera in her room, determined to catch whoever or whatever was moving the doll. That night, Emily slept on the couch, too unnerved to stay in her bedroom. The next morning, with shaking hands, she reviewed the footage. What she saw made her blood run cold. At exactly 3:33 a.m., the doll's head slowly turned towards the camera. Then, impossibly, it stood up. Its porcelain limbs moved jerkily, like a marionette controlled by an unseen puppeteer. It walked to the edge of the shelf, paused for a moment, then jumped down. The camera went static for a few seconds. When the picture cleared, the doll was standing directly in front of the lens, its painted smile now seeming sinister and knowing. Emily screamed and dropped her phone, the image of those lifeless eyes boring into her soul. Now, I don't know about you, but at this point, I'd be calling every exorcist, medium, and ghostbuster in the phone book. Emily, however, decided to do some research. She discovered that the doll had a dark history. It had been made in the late 1800s by a toy maker who was rumored to practice black magic. Legend had it that he imbued his creations with spirits, giving them a life of their own. Emily's grandmother had bought the doll at an estate sale, unaware of its sinister origins. For years it had remained dormant, perhaps waiting for the right moment or the right person to awaken its malevolent spirit. Armed with this knowledge, Emily knew she had to get rid of the doll, but it wasn't that simple. Every time she tried to throw it away, she'd find it back in her house. She tried burning it, but the flames wouldn't catch. She even tried burying it, only to wake up the next morning with dirt-covered doll sitting at the foot of her bed. The activity escalated. Objects would move on their own. Emily would hear whispers in the night. Sometimes, she'd catch a glimpse of a small, childlike figure darting around corners. Her friends started to avoid her, put off by the oppressive atmosphere in her home and the dark circles under her increasingly paranoid eyes. Just when Emily thought she couldn't take it anymore, she met an elderly woman named Margaret at a local occult shop. Margaret claimed to be a medium and offered to help. She came to Emily's house and performed a cleansing ritual. As she chanted and burned sage, the air grew thick and heavy. The doll began to shake violently, its painted eyes rolling back in its head. Suddenly, a piercing scream filled the air, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The lights flickered, and in a blinding flash, it was over. The doll lay motionless, now nothing more than an ordinary toy. Margaret explained that she had freed the spirit trapped within the doll, sending it to the other side. Emily, relieved but shaken, decided to donate the doll to a paranormal museum, where it sits to this day. Visitors often report feeling uneasy around it, and some swear they've seen its eyes move, but it never again displayed the terrifying activity Emily had witnessed. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. Maybe you're thinking this is just another tall tale designed to give you goosebumps. But Emily's story is well documented, with video evidence and multiple witnesses. It serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the things we dismiss as impossible are all too real. So, the next time you're browsing an antique shop or inheriting an old family heirloom, maybe think twice before bringing home that cute vintage doll. You never know what kind of baggage it might be carrying. And hey, if you've made it this far without checking over your shoulder for any suspiciously mobile dolls, why not hit that subscribe button? Join our community of mystery enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal? Do you believe Emily's story, or do you think there's a more rational explanation? Remember, sometimes the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary is thinner than we'd like to believe. Keep an open mind, but always approach the unknown with caution. You never know when you might stumble upon your own enigma. Until next time, this is Enigma Chronicles, reminding you that the truth is often stranger and sometimes scarier than fiction. Sweet dreams, and don't let the cursed dolls bite.